Get the bag, gotta get the bag. Ain't no need to lag, ain't no need to lag. Yeah, gotta chase the bag, gotta chase the bag. Ain't no need to lag.
What's up and welcome to a Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks. I'm your host, as always. Today is set as an instant premiere. I am recording this Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. It's like 4 o'clock my time. I don't think we're going to run into any issues with line movement or anything like that. Of course, if that were to happen, certainly we can adjust. As I've talked about, on audio, you're going to get this posted probably tonight. I'm honestly probably going to upload this audio too, so it's going to get a little confusing, get a little messy. Looks like I'm live, not really live. I've talked about this a couple days leading up. By time this posts at 11:30, by time you guys are watching this, I'm either at my destination or driving still to the destination. We're just going a couple hours away, taking the kids to like a children's museum, staying at a hotel. It's got a pool in it. My oldest son loves to swim. Youngest son, going to be in a pool for the first time, obviously. Hopefully it's clean. And they got Dave and Buster's. My son loves to play. He's not good at them, obviously, but me and my wife went there for a Valentine's thing, a whole day. And anyhow, like it's fun. Good stuff there. Good food. He's going to have an absolute blast, all about the kids, little day. And then Thursday, there will not be a podcast audio or YouTube on Thursday. So this is going to serve as the Wednesday/Thursday podcast. Looking up here at MLB, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games. 15 games on the slate for Thursday. I have 3 plays picked out. Really, really excited about the games to get going here. My style is normally player props, although there's really none available. I definitely don't shy away from money lines. In the Discord, like in VIP with beer money, when people pay for those picks or the slips or whatever, I'm doing a lot of 2-hit, plus 100, builder type plays, total bases, hit runs, RBIs. I like first 5 totals a lot. Big fan of first 5 totals. I like, first 5 ERA or pitcher, earns run given up, first 5, I guess first 5 team total. I'm trying to think, attacking like a bad pitcher, so you want the other team to score. Totals in general. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that I like to play. I do home run style. I'm gonna start doing a home run lotto every single day on Twitter just to try to get the blood pumping and try to see if we can't hit one and see you can't blow up. That's what you need sometimes to get a bunch of followers. But today we have 3 plays. It was nice to kind of do it off the top of my head, not having to do a whole lot of research like I do NBA. NFL or football betting and baseball betting come pretty natural. I recognize these players. I understand kind of what's going on. Then when we get into player props, there's definitely more like he bats this percentage against a left-handed pitcher versus right-handed pitcher, or day games versus away games, winds blowing out, whatever, like all that stuff, So we'll get into plays here though. Really excited to just get going the MLB season. And then we, of course, can't forget though, we do have football on Saturday and Sunday. The UFL, the United Football League, the XFL, and the USFL merged together. So we have that going for us too, which is going to be really nice. I'm pretty sure we're going to do a little podcast, me and Ty, the college guy, and give some picks away on Saturday. Podcast on Saturday, and those would be plays for Saturdays and Sundays. I think there's 4 games each day. Saturday, 4 games on Sunday, or maybe 2 and 2. I can't really remember how it goes, 3 and 3, something like that. But first play of the year on honestly ever of the new version. Way back when I used to do Lunchtime in the Lab, 2 years ago when I wasn't paid to do like MLB, handicapping. I was kind of first starting out and everything like that. I wasn't a baseball handicapper in the old Discord, and boy, were they missing out. Up 86 units my first full year after that. But here we go. Braves money line versus the Phillies. This one might be a little obvious, a little chalky, but I tell you what, my first thought was Phillies money line. I think this is going to be a good game. But looking at just what they've been doing in preseason, Strider's been fantastic in spring training. I mean, been awesome in spring training. That of course that doesn't always translate to regular season, but Strider when he's on, I mean, we're talking Cy Young type stuff. He's been doing really good in spring training. He's going to come out, I think, hot. And Zach Wheeler's a good pitcher, but like he has a lot of up and down, and I feel like there's more downs than usual. And this, looking at like stats, I first thing I did was like, oh, what's the record for Philly at home? Looked at it, pretty good, pretty respectable record. And then you look at the Braves away record last year, and it's better. Like they were fantastic away, they were fantastic at home. They just have a complete, well-rounded lineup, and they're not like a boom and bust type lineup. Cunha is going to get on base, he's going to steal. Olsen, yeah, maybe he hits a home run. Riley, pushes him around. Harris, was it Arcia? I mean, there's got a lot of dudes that just hit the ball. Where Philly, they got a lot of like boom and bust type guys. Like Schwarber, like had the lowest batting average I think last year. Dude strikes out a ton. One of my favorite bets to do was to take Schwarber's first pitch extra bases. On the first pitch for him hit a double, home run, something like that. There's always like plus 4,000. Like so, you look at bottom of the first pitch. So if they're the home team, whatever. That was one of my favorite bets. Maybe mess with that if you want, so, but that's not the type of stuff we'll do on here. That's the type of stuff that I'm going to, try to sprinkle in the Discord or something like that. But I want to back the Braves. Braves are, solid team. I think they have the better pitcher. So we're going to go with the Braves money line for the first play. I was looking at minus 125 where I have it right now. So, I mean, pretty good value for a money line play. So we'll definitely ride that one. Second play, guys, like, unfortunately, like I am a White Sox fan. I have been for a long time. I can't believe it's been 19 years since they won the World Series. I remember that, man. Gosh, I was 15 or something like that. Isn't that crazy how like that's almost sad to think about how you get old and stuff like that. It's been 19 years since they won. I remember watching that game. I remember Bobby Jenks being the closer, and he had that crazy curveball, and here I am, but anyway, the White Sox aren't very good right now. Their starter, I honestly had never heard of them. I had to look up some of the pitchers, and I recognized one or two of the guys, and they got some bats, but not great. And this is a good spot for the Tigers because they're away, and it's smart to play a minus 1.5 at away teams. It's not a requirement or anything like that. But in baseball, for those of you that are not familiar, the home team, if they're winning, will not bat. So if you had a home team, they're only up one, top of the ninth, they get a stop, game over. You lose that spread bet on the run line if you had the minus 1.5. But then being the home team, they're guaranteed. I'm sorry, with the Tigers being the away team, they're guaranteed to have that ninth inning, the full 9 inning at bats. So if they are only up one, they have a chance to get some insurance runs and for you to cash that spread for you. The White Sox, like I said, are my team. That I guess that makes it so that I know how bad they are. And you know what's actually really nice? Being a Vikings fan, I would never bet against Kirk Cousins in prime time. I just wouldn't bet those games. So guess how excited I am to be able to bet against Kirk Cousins on the Falcons now that he's gone. Kind of looking forward to that. But White Sox have some power. They got Luis Roberts, Eloy Jimenez, Moncada. I mean, they've got some solid dudes. Just not a great team. They're definitely in rebuild mode. Skubal, I think is how you pronounce it. Super solid pitcher. I mean, he's got some nasty stuff, but he's dealt with some injuries throughout his career. So if he can stay healthy, I mean, the guy's going to be really good. I mean, like top 10 type pitcher, in my opinion. The White Sox have Crochet going, if that's how Crochet, tall guy. I read an article. Of course, it was written by a White Sox fan. They were comparing him to Chris Sale. Chris Sale didn't start until his second or third year. Here's this dude, the same guy, tall, 6'6", lefty, triple digits, fastballs, got a nice movement on his breaking ball. But I mean, he's been exposed. He hasn't had a very good ERA in the times that he's been around. Just seems like he's only going to pitch maybe like 2 or 3 innings, 4 innings. I just feel like the Tigers have a lot of power in their bats. And I think he gets exposed. And the White Sox bullpen is definitely nothing to write home about. I mean, they've traded guys away at the end of the season, really didn't pick anybody up. So we're going to fade my team, which I'm certainly not afraid to do. And it's something you have to do in the MLB. There's 162 games. I mean, it really comes out to almost 2,500 different games in the MLB. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to fade, and I say it all the time. The best team in baseball is going to lose 50 games this year. So I mean, you could bet the Dodgers every time, every single time you bet the Dodgers, and they're going to lose 50 games. The Braves are going to lose 50 games. Baseball can be kind of difficult. It's goofy. You could be on really high on one team to win, and the very next day you can be like, I think they're going to lose to the exact same team, just based off pitcher matchups. How many arms they used, everything like that. There's a lot that goes into it. But second play will be the Tigers -1.5. That is -104 right now, depending. I'm looking on FanDuel. Pretty sure it was plus money when I wrote it up. It's -104 right now. And then very lastly, we're going to ride with the Yankees and the Astros over 8.5 runs. I would probably play this up to 9.5 if it happens to move. I do think it's about a run or two short, in my opinion. You get, Cortez is coming back, likely starting for the Yankees. Tough, injury filled year last year. I think it's going to take some time for him to get, really back on track. I don't think he's going to come out and be, lethal, nasty. If he does, put up a good 4 or 5 innings, and we still got the bullpen to get into and everything like that. But the Astros, the Astros, like the Braves, they're just so full of power. They're just a stacked team. Astros are a great offensive team. Great hitting, tons of home runs, a lot of guys that get on base, a lot of guys that hit home runs after. It's a perfect mix. And then you look at the Yankees, and last year, man, I would say they definitely disappointed. There was a point I stopped betting on the Yankees last year because they just weren't getting it done for us. You got guys like, Aaron Judge and Rizzo's still on the team. Gosh, I'm a little out of it, to be honest, but I gotta get back on that stuff. But the Yankees definitely have some pop. They got some pop. They got some hitters. They added Juan Soto to the mix, who solid dude in Washington, didn't do a whole lot, in San Diego, but still, had an off year last year, but he has the potential to have some good games. Nice bat that they added. But like I said, the Yankees constantly disappointed. They constantly weren't putting runs up, but on paper though, man, like they have a chance. Framber Valdez, I think, is the guy that's supposed to be pitching for the Astros. Super hittable guy too. He's by no means a solid pitcher. He has games where he just gets he had stretches last year where he would just get nailed, and I wanted to bet against him. 8.5 runs for at least one of the most powerful lineups. The Yankees on paper, very powerful lineup. Just honestly just feels like it's a run or two too low. Asking for 9 runs, a 5-4 type game is definitely not outside. Is it anything crazy? I will say, of course, though, like it's early. It's where's this game played at? Yankees and Astros. So it's in a dome in Houston. So the ball very well could actually travel pretty well. It's not like they're playing in New York where it's going to be, cold outside or anything like that. You really do have to pay attention to a lot of stuff. Like how cold is it in some of these places? Are they in a dome? Or are they not? In these early, spring, April, even May games, you have a lot of wind. You could have a lot of wind blowing in or out. This is an over. We don't have to worry about the wind, obviously, because we're at a dome. But if it was blowing out, we would love that. Line would probably be set about a run higher, to be honest. Like I think if it was blowing in, it would probably be set lower. Really just really just depends. It's going to take us some time, guys, to get through. I'd like to, gosh, raining like crazy outside right now by a window. It's going to take us a while. I really hope we get ourselves a 2-1 day, a 3-0 sweep or something like that. If we start out losing, though, I preach it so much how difficult baseball is. This sport literally runs from all of April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Long time, long sport. There's a lot of games with it. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. It's going to take at least a rotation, maybe 2, to figure out, who's solid, who had a bad game, who's actually really bad. We'll be able to fade some guys. Like I'm looking forward to Jordan Lyles pitching, again, one of the worst pitchers last year. But what if Corbin Burns for the Orioles gets smoked by the Angels? Does that make him a bad pitcher? Like, I don't know. But if he has 2 or 3 outings in a row and he's got a 5 ERA in both of those, and maybe we want to fade him. But second game around, we're not ready to do that yet. So there's going to be some up and down. Like, some stuff like that, so it's beginning of the season. Like always, MLB, there's, you know, it's going to take 2 weeks to get to the point where we have 10 at bats to even be able to look at some good last 10 data for hits, or, how are they doing so far against lefties this year compared to, start adding in some data for last year or whatever, so a lot of good stats, a lot of good stuff like that, but we're just trying to add a little bit extra here for the podcast, just chatting about some random stuff. But we'll go ahead and recap here. I didn't have a screen together. This is, like I said, an abnormal day. We're gonna run with the Braves money line over the Phillies. We're gonna take the Tigers -1.5 over my White Sox, and the Yankees versus the Astros. We're gonna go with 8.5 runs. Like I said, if you've made it this far, first off, thanks so much. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I have, the subscribers are definitely starting to pour in now. Fantastic. That's awesome. We were trying to get to the 500. Just recently we're at 514 right now. I just got to get my watch hours up and I can start, unfortunately, having some ads on the videos, but I make money. Gonna go into different graphics. This stuff costs money, giveaways for the channel, everything like that. For some of these videos. So definitely make sure you like it, make sure you share it some, any way you want, tell your friends, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Like I said, this episode is going live at 11:30 tomorrow, which is Wednesday. It is going to take placeholder as the Wednesday and the Thursday episode to be able to reference back to it if you want to ride some of these plays on Thursday. And then if you're in the Discord, of course, I would imagine my son, we're all going to be sleeping in one room. First time we've done it, in a hotel. We're bringing his little bed. He's going to sleep with us. He's probably going to be up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, go get breakfast, maybe swim, sit around for a second, check the lineups, and maybe I'll get a bet out or two, before I hit the road back home. I'm going to be the main driver and I won't be on my phone, obviously, during that time. So appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys back on Friday. And, congrats to making it this far into the MLB. Super excited to see what we can do. And, I look forward to being able to win you guys. Hopefully it's, more money than I did last time. 86 units in the Discord last time around. I have a lot more plays, for the podcast than I do, the Discord. It's pick and choose. I'm only doing certain stuff. Not all these plays are Discord plays. Some of these plays become Discord plays. Some of these plays are, I feel very strongly, but not absolute in a sense of I'm saying like, hey, for sure, take this type of player or whatever, So anyhow, enough rambling. This got long enough. I can hear the sun just woke up. So I'm going to close it out, hit this outro, and I'll see you guys back on Friday.